Hi, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. Today I'm going to be starting a series and I'm going to do 3 cards featuring the 3 bundles that will be the ones that I am focusing on for my fall online retreat. So if you're unfamiliar with my retreats, I'll explain a little bit how they work, but I do have a whole video that shows you all 3 sets. And the focus is specialty paper, so I show you a ton of samples. So make sure you go watch that, and then you'll get more details. And of course, you can always get the registration information and the complete details as far as what you need to do it and the different ways to register. But it is online. It is in the middle of October. You do not have to be at home or sitting at your desk as the videos post, because you will have the private YouTube links and it'll be just on a video just like this. So we do 12 projects. All 12 of them have step-by-step instructions that you can stamp along with me. So then there are 4 ways that you can participate. You can get the full kit, and if you get that, you get a free extra stamp set as part of it. And that will include all 3 bundles that I'm going to show you over the course of the next 3 videos. You can choose 2 of the bundles, or you can just get the card supplies, or you can just get the videos, and all of those do include a PDF with measurements as well. So all of the sets that we're using, of course, are out of the current mini catalog. This goes to the end of December. The one I'm going to show you today is the Merriest Moments bundle. Well, I have my catalog here for a reason. So this one is our hybrid set. So with the retreat cards, I haven't designed them all yet, but over half will be Christmas, maybe not quite half, but we'll be in that range. So we will be doing some that are fall, or you kind of, I don't know, is generic season a word? So there will be some that are not Christmas, but over half will be Christmas, because the 3 sets we're going to focus on all have that Christmas theme to them. So the first one I wanted to show you is the Encircled in Warmth. If you sign up to get the full kit, then you'll also get these. So this is a free stamp set, and that is a $20 value. So with shipping and handling and tax, it's about 22, 23, 24-ish, depending on where you live. But this is the bundle I'm going to show you today. So this is our Merriest Frames, Merriest Moments bundle. So as you can see in the picture here, you get the stamp set, you get the folder, which I'm going to show you, and then these fabulous dies. So you get you're going to be able to see most of them today because I'm using quite a lot of them. Of the big one that I'm using, I'm not going to use this one. We will definitely use it at retreat because it's a different way to use the folder than what I'm going to use it now. So this is your first choice. And I have made one other thing besides the card that I've had with it today. Celebration being different this year, and the whole catalog coming out early, it's just kind of thrown me for a little bit of a design loop. I don't even like Christmas in July. So when Christmas is all these months, it's a bit too much for me. So I took this set, which you can see, Merriest Moments. It's obviously a Christmas set. But I took out the together is the merriest place to be, and put together is the Thanksgiving place to be. I host Thanksgiving. These would make super fun Thanksgiving invitations. There is a tutorial on my channel for that. So the one I'm going to do today is going to be Christmas, but it's going to be different than this. And when I was done, if you have a winter wedding, like a December wedding, this would be a fabulous wedding card for that. And then I'm also going to use the extremely popular Foreign to Us stamp set. So these are sentiments. I tried it with a couple of different ones. I already have ink on my hand. I don't know how that happened. So we're going to use this one here. But I love this set, love all of the pieces about it. And then this is why it will look so much like a wedding card if you have a winter wedding. I'm going to use shimmery white cardstock for everything except some highlight pieces. I'm going to use our rose specialty paper. So the retreat, all 12 cards will feature at least 1 specialty paper. A lot of them will have 2 or 3 or 4 because the focus this time is specialty paper, because you can take my cat wants me to play with him. You can take specialty paper, and instead of taking time, you can make your cards look fabulous. Hang on a second. Okay, so let's get going with the cards. So the first thing I'm going to do, so this is what we need. So the first thing you're going to do to use, let's go ahead and stamp first, which is a different way than I made the card originally, because when you don't know what your card's going to look like. So full disclosure, I totally started out with designer series paper, and I threw it in the trash because it's really, well, then I ended up using it for testing. So it doesn't look good, but this is not the card. It was not in my mind until it kind of took a progression. So I have Blushing Bride, which is my favorite pink that we have. It's actually, which funny story, it's actually the color of my bride dress from the 90s. We would have called it Dusty Rose, but it's Blushing Bride. So I'm going to stamp, and you can see I put 2 of the poinsettias out of the set, and then the little group of holly berries. So we have those. There's not a whole lot of stamping on this card. I'm going to do the sentiment after I'm done with the rest of the card. And then I have Evening Evergreen. So for the Evening Evergreen, I've pulled out the 2 largest holly leaves and then the poinsettia leaves, or whatever those leaves are. That's what we're using them for. I'm not a botanist. I'm not quite sure what those leaves are. So these are our 2 colors. So with these 2 colors and then this rose paper, that's going to be all of the colors. So it ends up being a really soft card, which would be perfect for weddings. So now let's go ahead and do all this stuff. So you're going to need your cut and emboss machine. And if you do the retreat, then you're going to need it. I am starting a new kind of class in October, and it's a subscription class. But for that, you'll never need an embossing machine. For those of you that are first starting out, it'll be a perfect kind of class for you. And you just register once, and then every month it'll come to you. So in October, it will be delivering to you. I'm going to get it on an obvious schedule. But until I have the first one under my belt, then, because I have retreat, and I wasn't planning on doing this. So I'm going to put these 3 on here, but then every month it'll come to you at the same time. You'll get the videos, you'll get the things to make your cards. And then if you want to add the stamps, that you can. I'm going to do this rose gold, and there's 3 tiny poinsettias that cut out. So each time I'm just going to run these through with that. That way everything will get done. These dies line up super easily. Sometimes with the flowers and the leaves, it's kind of a twisty to see which direction they go, but these did really well. So we got half of our stuff cut out. And again, I'm not using all of the dies. There are a couple of more that cut out. There's one more holly leaf size, but this card didn't need that much stuff. Okay, and then we'll roll these through. So when you stamp multiple images, you want to make sure that you have enough room on your blocks in between your things that you can get them all out. So let me get all these ready, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so now you're going to take this frame. It's so pretty. It's really pretty. And it coordinates with the folder. And here's the pearlescent that I thought was shimmer white, but shimmer white and pearlescent. But you're going to see how on this card, just having the specialty paper, we don't have to do a whole lot more to it, because the specialty paper is gorgeous. And that is, I mean, sometimes with the specialty paper, you run something through and you're like, oh, I just want it to be done. So with this one, we're going to kind of do that. So first I'm going to run it through this way, and I have, you can see, one pass, and it just all pops out. So just pop that out of the middle, and you're done. So that's a super easy die. Then it has this frame piece in the middle, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece of paper out. Now here's the deal. If I was doing white or vanilla or just one of our colored cardstocks, I would just do another frame. But the pearlescent cardstock, not the cheapest cardstock that we have, or paper. So there's no reason to mount some more pearl over the top of pearl. For ease factor on one of our more inexpensive cardstocks, I might do that. But for this one, we're just going to make use of all of it. So this one, now you can see it has this really pretty stitching, and that will be where we put our sentiment. And then I'm going to take the hybrid frame. Now there are videos that will show you that you can put the die and the frame in at the same time. And you can, but Stampin' Up! Has told us that there is, with user error and not having it lined up just right or something, there's the potential to damage your folder or your dies. I don't want to damage anything because I like to keep my stuff nice and neat. So I am just going to do it in 2 steps because one more step doesn't add that much more to it. But this is the step that really makes this pearlescent paper gorgeous. So let's roll this through once. And that's all of the cutting and then the dye and embossing and everything that we need. But look at this. It is so pretty. So you just put this in and everywhere where there's now supposed to be texture. See, you could just stop. This could be your card because that's beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? So now I'm going to stamp on the pearlescent paper. You can emboss it. You can stamp. Our air conditioning is actually back on today, but it has a slick surface, so it takes a little bit to dry. So I'm going to pull out my Stays On Brown. The black was a little bit too much for this card. Don't throw away this when you have one of our Stays On pads. But we have it in black and brown. And this is a flash drying ink, but even flash drying, it just takes it a second longer on this cardstock because of the coating that's on it. And if you did one of my other retreats, one of the retreats we just did the pearlized paper and we did a bunch of techniques on it. And it's that coating that we were able to use for the techniques, but it's also the coating then that makes it not dry. So we got that. It's a tiny bit crooked, but you know, I didn't want you to see the top of my head, which is funny because I just recorded a video where you saw all of me. So I guess you could have seen the top of the head on this one. I'm just used to not sticking my head in, but that's not too bad. So now let's just stick this together, pop these out. I have my shimmer white cardstock. Get that out of the way just so it's nice and dry before we touch it. So my whole card is shimmer white. Again, perfect wedding card, really nice, subtle Christmas card. Then to glue these on, instead of using adhesive where I have to pop any of that down, I love all of the lift and dimension it has to it. But if you use, can't find my glue dots, and I just had them because I just made this card. Here it is. If you use a glue dot, it will hold them as well. And then you barely have to press. So I'm going to flip it over, and on one leaf on each side, I'll add a glue dot. So if you don't have a take your pick, or if you need 2, I have 2 because one of them I keep the sticky tip and the other one I keep the brush tip. And you can never have too many pokies. It's going to be my gift with purchase at the very beginning of October because that kicks off our Stampin' Up! Year. Our business year starts in October. And I always like to have a nice, good, strong start. So I will be offering some extra New Year's specials. So watch that because this video will be up just before it is time for that. But look what I mean. Is this not just, and then you just have to hit the 4 that you got and you're not pressing adhesive. You could use glue as well, but the glue dots will hold it fine. Then to put this in the middle, we went to the time to cut it out, and partly I did it because of the stitching. You wouldn't have to. Oh, look at this. I'm going to use up these dimensionals. So I'm just going to raise this up in the middle. And when you're to the edge of your dimensionals, make sure you use every last bit because these actually work kind of better for a big rectangle like this because it will have lots of support underneath it. So let's see if I can get this in here straight since I stamped a little bit crooked. But you know, if you stamped a little bit crooked, you can just offset it because nobody's going to notice and it will make my words be straight. There's a little tip for you. Now I'm going to just going to use glue dots for this whole card to prove that you don't have to use adhesive because right now the refills are on back order. So put a glue dot there. And then this one, I'm just going to slightly raise it. And if you have your take your pick, you can just use the barrel right here. And this will just kind of separate the 2 layers down. And then we have that glue dot on there. And let's go ahead and stick it to my card. Before I do that, I'm going to take the leaves that I don't know what they are. I'm going to call them the poinsettia leaves just because that's where I'm putting them. So I'm going to put the poinsettia right here just so it goes to the edge of the card. But you can control it so it goes right there. Glue dot. And then just kind of, you can see where there's more separation on some leaves than others. So just aim it so you've got your words nicely framed. And then over here, we're going to do the holly berries. So I'm going to start with my biggest leaf. Put that there. Go with the little leaf. Oops, I dropped it. It's stuck in my, oh no, I didn't drop it. I thought it fell. Put this here. And then we get the holly berries. So when you're using your glue dots like this, it's super easy to pick this stuff up because it just sticks right to it. And again, you want to make sure you don't cover up your words, so just kind of catty corner it. And then we have all these really pretty accessories. So on one of them, I'm going to build them up here. So we have 6. So I'm going to do sets of 2, so I can have 3 of them. You could cut one more out and have sets of 3. But this is plenty. You're going to see when the card's done, having this number is perfectly okay. So there's 3 sizes, so you just don't want a big and a small on top of each other. I mean, the same sizes on top of each other. So if you start with a small, then you need to get another size. Put that there. Then let's do one other little frame up here. And I really like to see these leaves right here are the same leaves kind of over there. So let's go with that being I know they're not poinsettia leaves. I bought some tiny little poinsettias last Christmas, like super tiny. Like the pots were like this big tiny. Oh, that's falling out. And they didn't die. So I have since transplanted them twice. So right now they're all green and I can't wait till they start to turn color again. But one of them is this color. If I remember, once they start, then I will pull them out to show you. So this one, I'm just gonna go down here again. I like to have the one corner just be kind of empty. This one's still in its paper. Anytime you have odd numbers on a card or an art project, then your eye isn't trying to figure out where to go. It's looking at how beautiful everything is. When you put an even number, like if you put 4 embellishments or 6 embellishments, or over here, if I would put 4 things, if it's not perfectly straight, then your eye's going, and it's not like an obvious thing, but your brain just doesn't know where to look first. So instead of that first initial thing being, oh, that's beautiful, you're kind of like, where am I supposed to be looking? So now we have this. See what I mean about a wedding card? Wouldn't that be pretty? This greeting says, may your heart be lifted in praise this Christmas for the wonderful gift of Jesus and the joy he brings to our lives. So that is one of my favorite sayings. Last year, I put this on the inside of my card, but it fit in this frame really nicely, and I really liked it. So now I'm going to use our Elegant Faceted Gems, and you can see they come in 3 colors. So I'm going to use all 3 colors, and I'll use a variety of sizes. So we'll put this one here, and then we'll get a tiny one, whoops, and put it on here. And then that means over here we can go with a big white one. I'm not doing very good poking those off today. So super easy. And so this is one of the sets that you can choose from when you do the online retreat. You can either get the full kit, or you can choose 2, or if you already have them, or if you have like last year's poinsettias and you want to try to make it work with the layouts of the card, then you're welcome to do that too. But super, I just want to be invited to a December wedding, so I will be able to give that. Even the sentiment on the front of this one would go fine for a wedding, as long as you put a wedding greeting on the inside. So if you're interested in the retreat, jump over to my website and all of the information will be there. I'll catch you back here with the next in the series. I don't know which one I'm going to do next. They're both laying here next to me. So I'll see you later. Bye.